This is a California legislative explainer on so-called gut and amend bills. One of the controversial occurrences during the annual California legislative session is dealing with so-called gut and amend bills. According to the Office of Legislative Counsel, the legislature's lawyers, these measures are defined as when amendments to a bill remove the current contents in their entirety and replace them with different provisions, which are unrelated. The controversy is the second part of the process, that is, replacing the bill's current contents with a subject that is unrelated to the original contents of the bill. And such amendments raise the legislative issue of germaneness, which refers to whether a proposed amendment is relevant to the subject matter currently contained in the measure. While legislative counsel may opine on the issue of germaneness, the determination is ultimately decided by the presiding officer and, subject to an appeal by the membership, can be voted on by the Assembly or by the Senate. As a result, a majority of the members of the Assembly or a majority vote of the Senate members determines whether amendments to a measure are germane or not, and therefore whether the gut and amend was proper or not. Now, each house of the California legislature has rules related to determining whether amendments are germane or not. For example, Assembly Rule 92 is actually titled Amendment to be Germane, and it says that an amendment to any bill, other than a bill stating legislative intent to make necessary statutory changes to implement the budget bill, whether reported by a committee or offered by an Assembly member, is not in order when the amendment relates to a different subject than is intended to accomplish a different purpose, or it requires a title that's essentially different from the original bill. Note again that the full assembly ultimately decides this question. Senate Rule 38.5 requires every amendment proposed to a bill to be germane. In order to be germane, an amendment must relate to the same subject as the original bill, resolution, or other question under consideration, and a point of order may be raised with the proposed amendment or an amendment being placed into a bill, resolution, or other question under consideration by the body, whether or not it's germane, so long as that question is retained by control of the Senate itself, and ultimately for a determination of the members of the Senate on the floor.